Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of AF Farms. So, this is if you're following along, this is our No Man's Land series. So today we are just doing a little bit of farm road maintenance in preparation for sort of finishing off this little area with some landscaping and finishing up this road. So basically what I'm going to do is I've decided to cut this road across to this field here. So this will make this field on the left a little bit smaller and this field on the right a little bit smaller. So I'm thinking in the long term this is probably going to be where I'll plant some potatoes or sugar beets, something to that effect. So we're just going to start off with our painted dirt texture, and we are going to line it up to 90 degrees. So we've got a little GPS down there in the bottom left hand corner, shows us our position. This will allow us to get a perfectly straight road. So as long as we don't go too quickly, we'll change our position with the camera. We'll maintain that 90 degrees. And just like that, we've got a nice straight road. Now obviously you may not want straight roads, that's totally cool, but I just prefer to have straight roads for my fields. It's just easier to line up and divide everything. That's just, yeah, much better in my opinion for what I need. So I'll put this road in here before, so I just want to double check that it's actually straight. It's got a little bit of a weird sort of thing here, but I'm going to fix that up in a second anyway, because what I'm going to do is plant a row of trees basically along here, just to sort of separate the vineyard from the main farm. And we're just going to experiment with some different tree types and see how we go. So I think this map is very heavy on the spruce trees, or pines. Maybe not pines, I think they're spruce trees. So let's go find a spruce tree. Yeah, these ones here. So if we just go over here quickly. Excuse me. Just for a bit of a visual comparison. Now obviously I've cut down all the trees on the map, so yeah, they look very similar to that. So I'm going to leave those trees for up the back, so on the hill there. So I'll put it in a bit of a spruce forest at some stage, but along here I'm just going to plant a different variety of trees, just to sort of break things up a little bit. Just give a bit more variety. So let's get onto the trees. Now the thing with trees you've got to be careful of is once you put a tree in, it's basically there forever, unless you cut it down with a chainsaw. So if you're not liking the tree, you're basically stuck with it unless you want to cut it down. So I've got American elm, young American elm. What do we got here? Go to Dagwood. So I'm actually just going to experiment with a couple of different shapes and sizes. So that's a pine sapling. I do like that. That's an old shagbark hickory. This is a large shagbark hickory. And we've got our pine trees, which we've looked at before. So let's go so that's old. Let's go a couple of these. So I'm just going to sort of place these randomly along here. And just sort of randomly rotate them as I go. And then in between we'll plant some other trees. So I just don't want to impact the field too much. Now I was going to put the trees over directly to the... And we'll just put one here, just sort of line up with that. A large pagoda dagwood. That looks pretty cool, so we'll throw one there. Yeah, throw one there. And we'll just mix up some of the orientations, obviously. Alright, so downy service bush. Large downy service berry. Yeah, let's go a couple of these. So I'm just sprinkling a few of them as well. And I will throw in a couple of big ones. So I'm not going to do too many of these. I'll put a big tree down there. I'll probably put a big one in there. Because I want it to be quite bushy, so... Alright, let's get a couple of American elms, because they look pretty cool when they are in bloom. So is that the biggest? Might be the oak trees that are bigger. Oh, that's an oak tree there. Large stone pine. Yeah, so let's go to the elm. American elm. Nice and big. Hey, look how huge that is. Pretty expensive tree. Let's go. Sort of overlapping a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, let's go another one just there. So it's kind of simulating, I guess, how trees would be. I didn't rotate that one, that was a bit silly. How they sort of appear in nature as well. Like they're very, let's have a look at what we got so far. Alright, let's do some different heights. Like they all sort of mesh and meld together. So what do we got here? That's a yeah, I think I'll save that. It's a willow tree. So I'll stick with the... I don't want to crowd them out too much. So this is the large downy service berry. So I'll just throw a few of these in here, covering any gaps. I'll throw a big elm tree in this area here. So the elm tree, that's a large pagoda dagwood. That's not the one. That's not it either. Yeah, the American elms, they just fill in the space quite a lot. I probably need one in the middle here too. So let's do one just there. Looking pretty good. And I reckon we could probably go one in here. Let's go just here. So a lot of money spent on trees, but I reckon it's worth it. Hopefully that wasn't on the field too much. Alright, let's go Let's go some pagoda. Pagoda? Let's mix this up a little bit. So these are what I've got on the driveway. So I just want to throw in a bit of extra colour. Yeah, we can throw one of those there. Put little clumps around here. Just so it doesn't look too clinical. We want it to be a little bit random. I mean, it is a bit of a... It's just supposed to be a bit of a sort of... Let's get a couple of different sizes in there as well. I mean, it's like a living green wall, really, at the end of the day. And we'll just throw one in there. Alright, what else have we got? Small shagbark hickory, so that's what we've already put in. Let's try a couple of these little ones. Oh, no, to put that there. And then what we'll do after this is we're just going to paint with some additional bushes. So we kind of just get like a bit of a natural sort of looking green wall. So I'll throw in some from the back here. It's always a good idea to remember to rotate intermittently. Cool, look at that. It's looking pretty good already. Alright, last step is going to be the plants. So we just want to experiment with different sort of undergrowth. So basically what I'll do is I'll just come through randomly, put a bit of a smattering in. I'll change the shape actually. And then go over it with a different type of brush or bush again. So you can see there, that hit the road a little bit, but that's fine. Any of this stuff that needs to be ploughed, it'll get ploughed. So it just sort of fills in that area a little bit. What I might actually do is I'm probably going to paint this field. Actually, we'll see how the machines go. Alright, cool. And then we'll just experiment with different... So it doesn't look very big, does it? Oh, a little bit big. Let's try the next one along. Yeah, see, and it'll delete what you've already put down, so... This is where you just want to sort of sprinkle it through intermittently. Anywhere where you see a bare patch, just pop some in. This is actually a nice texture actually, because it's got a bit of contrast in colour. So it really gives that sort of bushy look to it. And it is supposed to be a bit forest-like, so there we get towards the end here. Alright, let's go and have a look at... So these are obviously a bit darker. I think these ones are a little bit bigger, so let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, there we go. That one's a little bit bigger again. So I'll just go and sprinkle a few of these in. So the less on purpose you are about this, the better it tends to look. There we go. So this is the same way I did the courtyard, the front of the house, all that sort of surrounding area. And at least this way we're able to get a nice mixture. There we go. Alright, let's go and have a drive. Oh, look at that already. Looks awesome. And being fall as well, it's naturally going to give off more colour, so it's very vibrant. Look at that. Oh, I'm super happy with this. And then you just sort of peek through the field there. I'm super happy with how that's turned out. Just pretty well thrown together in less than 20 minutes. You've got this beautiful living green wall. And then you bang into a field. Look at that. So that's one thing I've actually really started to enjoy with this game, is the landscaping tool. So I really hope in the next game they up the ante, so to speak, and really give us more options to colour and decorate our farms. Because just look at that, like, look at those trees. That's awesome. So one thing I will do is I'm just going to zip over that edge with the painting tool. So we want to blend the dirt and the grass a little bit more. So the way I've been doing that is, so we can use forest ground, but I'll use dry grass. So I'll just do a little test patch here. And basically what we do is just put a little bit of a so I find the square And as you can see, it doesn't delete our trees that we put in. So just to blend that edge a little bit better. Okay, so it does actually delete some of those bushes, so we want to be careful there. We just want to stick to the dirt area, creep into the... Once again, you don't want to be too fussy with it. So we're just blending that edge. And what I'm doing is, instead of holding down the painting button, I'm just sort of tapping it, moving the cursor along. So I'll just come back and see, that looks a little bit too straight for my liking. There we go. So let's go back to dry grass. Just sort of pepper in a little bit more. So yeah, I got rid of a couple of shrubs there, which I wouldn't normally aim to do. We'll just give that a little bit of a smattering of... There we go. Alright, let's have a quick look. So it kind of just gives a bit more of a rough edge. Kind of blends it in a little bit. Let's jump in the car actually and do a quick drive-by. So I can sort of see as we drive past. Oh, come on. Maybe first person view's better. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll drive down and then we'll go into the driver's seat. And you can sort of see here I've got a little bit of an edge on the left hand side. So what have we got here? Yeah, so you can see how that's all blended. And it kind of follows the contour of the hill. Pretty nice. Alright, let's do just a little quick drive-by. And you can see the elms overhang the road quite a bit, which is really good because it gives you that sort of leafy green sort of overhanging branches type of scenario. You got a nice edge there. Look at that. Not a bad effort, and you can still see through the trees, which is good. So yeah, super happy with that. So there's going to be a few more of these I'm going to put in, particularly where the tractors tend to overrun the fields. So we just turn around and admire our handiwork. Yeah, look at that. Looks awesome. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I did making it. And you got a few tips for landscaping, planting trees. I mean, it is a little bit expensive, but I think the overall effect it gives is really awesome. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. See you in the next one, and bye for now.